we're looking at the questions in lesson 26. I want you to go through and do all the work yourself before looking at this, but I just want to run through what you should be getting so you can make sure you're doing it right. Okay, right here, lithium is +1, chlorine is -1. That's just because lithium is in group 1, chlorine is in -1. I'm sorry, lithium is in group 1, chlorine is in group 17. So you just know they're +1, -1. Right here, you start off with oxygen is -2, and then there's 4 of them, which makes -8. And so carbon has to somehow balance that out. So carbon is going to be, in order to balance that out, it's going to be +4. So you get +4 and you get -2. Right here, once again, oxygen is -2. And so oxygen is -2, and you have 6 of them, so that makes it a total of +12 or -12. So on the right, we'd have -12. So to balance out -12, 3 times 4 is what makes 12. So P has to be +3. So we get that right there, +3 and -2. All right, moving on, we get I, we know is -1, and because it's in group 17. And so there's 8 of them, so that adds up to -8. So then this has to add up to +8. So you'd have to have carbon needs to be +4, because 4 times 2 gets you the 8 to balance out the I's. Number 5, with this, we know that O is -2, and there's 3 of them, so that makes -6. So then N needs to be +3, because +3 times 2 makes the +6 to balance out the -6. So you should have +3 and -2. This one, you definitely need to, there's a lot going on here. So first off, if we look at calcium, you just look on the periodic table, see where calcium's at. Calcium's in group 2. So you know calcium has to be +2. So I guess you're kind of lucky doing multiple choice. You could take the easy way out. And you know calcium's +2. This is the only one that does that. So you go with that. But just to make sure you get what's going on, hydrogen has to be +1. And then oxygen is -2. And so basically what you're going to do is, you know calcium is +2. So this whole C2H3, this whole thing, there's 2 of them. So this whole thing has to end up at -1. That way, when you have 2 of them, it makes the -2 to balance out the +2 of the calcium. So if you know that hydrogen is +3, and you know that oxygen is -2, then what you'll get, the carbon has to be +4 in order for it to all balance out. Okay, moving on to number 7. We have CO3 2-. So what that means is that the charge has to be a -2. So these all have to add up and have -2 at the end. O is -2. 3 of them makes it -6. So then carbon, you might think, oh, +6 to balance it out. But you don't want to balance it out to 0. You want -2 to be left over, so you go with +4 right here. Okay, number 8, Mg3N2. We know that Mg is +2, and there's 3 of them, which makes +6. To balance that out, you need to have a -3 for the N to have a -6. So +2, -3. I know Mg because it's in group 2. For this one, it's just that chlorine is -1. So to balance that out, copper has to be +1. So you have it right here. For this, chlorine is -1. There's 2 of them. So to balance that out, the Pb, the lead, has to be +2. So you have +2 and -1. For this one, oxygen is -2. There's only 1 of the Hgs, so Hg has to be +2. Okay, right here, you know you have 4 oxygens, and they're -2, so that makes -8. Then the hydrogen is +1, so you end up, when you combine the hydrogen with the oxygens, you're at -7. So you want -1 left over. So you're already at -7, so S has to be +6 to give you -1 left over. Right here, you have O is -2. You have 3 of them. That makes -6. Nitrogen has to be +5. That way there's a -1 left over. O is -2. 4 of them gives you -8. You need to have -3 left over, so the AS has to be +5. And then right here, we have O is -2. You triple that, you're at -6. B has to be +3. That way there's -3 left over. So that's all the answers on this. If you have any questions or you want to see me work on any of these, just email me at any point today, and I can give you more help on it.